Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and built up a nice little mushroom house for Puck to live in, and today, well, I am frustrated. Very frustrated with this storage system. I do not like it at all. It is not very organized, and I can hardly find stuff even with the labels, and it's just not very pretty. So I think that we're going to be tearing it all out and starting again. So as you can see below me, I've got a little catch tray for collecting everything that is in here and dropping it down to there for easy storage. And yeah, we're going to be tearing this whole thing out because I want a nicer area for us to come out of our portal to. I know this is a redstone pit and decoration isn't necessary, but I want something a little nicer than this, and this also doesn't really fit my plans for the area. So the first thing that we need to do to set this up is we need to shut off the two farms that are constantly feeding into the system, which is pretty much just the melon and pumpkin farm and the iron farm. If I can actually glide up to where they are, I guess we're doing the melon and pumpkin farm first because that's going to be easier to get to. So for that, we just need to go and break the auto dropper system that we have. That will cause everything to start backing up. And I think if we just break that redstone there and put it there so we don't lose it in the mess of storage. It's got a double chest that should last us for not long at all. Fortunately, the iron farm's got a little more extra storage. So once we get those shut down, we should be more than able to start ripping this whole system out. Alright, and now we have a bit of a collection system down there. We don't exactly have anything to actually collect everything, but we have a massive water stream that should pick up all of the items that fall down. That way we don't exactly have to worry about hand carrying everything that's in the storage system down there, because it's still pretty full. So all that remains is pretty much just to knock all this stuff out. I'm going to try and collect as many of the hoppers and stuff as I can, just because that'll make getting everything set back up easier without having to go dig through everything. Because once we start actually knocking everything out, there's going to be a lot of items. But we're just going to kind of drop that down to lower sections. Oh wait, that hopper is locked because of the item filter, so we'll just toss all that in there because we don't actually have any way to collect all of this once we actually start knocking everything out. So let's come down here, and now this whole center section we're basically just going to dig out, and this is going to be where we're putting all of the chests. So this will basically just hold all of the storage. We're going to dig this whole section out anyway, eventually, but for now it should work as a temporary storage area for all the stuff that's over here. Probably going to need to add a lot more chests, but we're basically just going to put hoppers around here. All the water is going to push the items into the hoppers, and it should all filter down into some chests. So let's see, let's get some brown mushroom blocks in temporarily because I don't have any chests. They're all in the storage system, and that'll basically just allow us to get these hoppers in so that we can get some collection. Now we're probably going to lose a couple items here and there just because there's a lot of items and they're definitely going to overflow the hoppers, but that's fine. We have plenty of items over here. Most of the stuff we have in excessive bulk. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig out the center section here as well, because all of this is gonna be filled with chests, but that's definitely not enough because we've got way more chests than this up at the top, and underneath we're gonna have another set of chests that's all gonna filter down into, and we'll go from there as to needing more chest storage. So, looks like I need to knock out a few more hoppers and get this set up. And there we go. That is all of the hoppers and chests in for now. We may add some more storage if we need it, which we probably will considering how many chests we have up there. and how many shulker boxes that need to get moved down. Now I did move a bunch of stuff down already and kind of started organizing stuff for setting up the storage system later, but there's still quite a bit that needs to be dropped down here and stored away, and that's gonna be fun. So for our eventual storage system, we've got stuff here like stones and dirts, basically natural items that we have that we're gonna have in bulk. I have moss in there, but that's probably gonna be put with the plants. And this is a lot of stuff that we can just farm, that we're just gonna have lots of because there's lots in the world. It's like soul sand, cobblestone, stone, all the fun stuff. I don't quite have everything for this, but this is a general idea of what could be in each section. We've got the skulk stuff. I do plan to eventually put a skulk farm around here, as well as a small little dripstone farm, but I think that pretty well covers all of the stone type items that we're going to get. Now our next section here is going to be ores and stuff. This is just going to be very, very rough. I've got amethyst. We do have a geode under here, and all of these ores I don't think we're actually going to have filters for. Maybe the quartz and the redstone and the coal, but most of this stuff is just going to be probably in a different sorter. This one is all mob stuff, so stuff from a mob farm and the coal farm, except obviously the coal because that goes with the ores, and just stuff from all of our passive mob farms that we have around the area. I do need to get a glow squid farm. I think we can get one in here. That shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. And finally, we have the plants, which has all of our different farms. We've got all the stuff that we need to harvest manually. We've got all the sugarcane variants, all of the mushrooms, melons, pumpkins, all of our flowers, and all of our moss stuff that is all going to be flowing into this one storage system. And there's probably going to be more stuff that we're going to have filter through here and just be stored, because I'm hoping to make this the main storage system and eventually collate everything from around the world into here. So we need quite a bit of space. But for right now, we need to tear out the old one and get a new space to work with. So I'm going to get to work on tearing this out, and then I'll be right back. All right, and there we go. We have all of our storage system here knocked out. We've transferred all of our shulker boxes down, and we dumped out some of our junk ones. Now we do have a few bases here that are uncovered. That's because we had creeper and also just trying to get this to filter through. Like there's still some stuff that's not quite working right because that's all full. But with that taken care of, we can go and get the next part of stuff done, which is going to involve quite a bit of stone. Because what I'm thinking we're going to do is I was originally going to have that be the top with our portal, but I think instead we're going to have our portal here be in a little bit of a cave. Now it's still going to be roughly the one chunk because this is the central chunk of this whole area. So everything in here should be fully loaded no matter what our simulation distance is, because this should be 4 chunks. And I think that'll work. Well, now I haven't taken out our furnaces, mostly because I still haven't actually grabbed any of the experience from them. I know they're broken, but I kind of don't want to grab the experience from them yet. But for now, I think we need to kind of get this marked out. Now, what I'm thinking is right now we have this as kind of like the entranceway here. Now this bit of stone brickwork here is going to disappear eventually and just be replaced by little floating islands like this that we have here and that we have down here with our little flower farms, which we still have to work in. But I think for now we'll keep this area. I still haven't decided what I want to do with the snow farm here. It's a little close to where we're building and also kind of a little big for what we need. We don't really need that much snow, and to be honest, most of this farm I think is kind of broken because the snow golems have escaped or disappeared. So we may end up resizing this thing down, which will save up a bunch of hoppers, will save me having annoying creeper attacks in here again, and will just make this whole area easier to work with, especially if we move it somewhere not in the middle of everything. It's nice when we started. Now that location's kind of in the way. But we'll wait to tear that out for a bit. But for now, I think I'm just going to work on trying to get... We'll just start with the cave floor and see where it goes from there. So, I'm going to get to work on this. And I will be back. All right, and there we go. We now have the entire cave here built up, and I'm quite happy with how the shape of this turned out. There's a few kind of rough spots, but I think they work pretty well. I'm not overly happy with the transition between the floor and the walls and the ceiling, but I'm not really actually used to doing whole custom caves like this, so I'm actually rather happy with how it turned out. I think there's some parts that are definitely better than others, but right now it looks a little bland with just stone. So we need to hop all the way down here and get out a little bit of gravel, a little bit of andesite, and see if we can decorate this up a little bit. Hopefully we can find some in this whole mess. We needed a few more chests than originally planned. Let's see. Let's check the bottom here. Nope, all stone. Oh, gravel. Grab 3 stacks of that. And saw some andesite there. Grab about 3 stacks of that as well. So this is basically just going to be used to texture the walls and the ceiling. The gravel, though, will only really be used for the floor because I don't really want to put string in the inside of the cave to support it in the ceiling. And I think it should add some nice detail and such. Now, wait, before we go up there, I should have some pointed dripstone somewhere. I think that'll help add a little bit of a nice cave aesthetic to what we're going for. I can actually find it. We have 3. Okay, that'll be enough to start. Oh, nope, there's more. There we go. 35 of it. That should work well enough. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to replace a couple blocks in the floor and the ceiling here with andesite and the gravel. We do need to turn some of this into stairs and slabs, just so we can keep some of this patterning. But I think I'm going to go add those in and just kind of give this thing a little bit more detail, and then I'll be right back. All right, and there we go. We've got pretty much the entire floor and the walls done. I didn't really do much on the ceiling because we're not really going to see most of it. And also the ceiling's a lot harder to detail than the walls and the floor, even with the floor basically being suspended over a open space. Now I still have the smelter and the blast furnace, smoker and the blast furnace, that's what they are, in here, mostly because I just haven't taken down the GDXP furnaces that were up here, even though they don't work anymore, sadly. But we did fit our ender chest into the floor here, next to the portal, and all in all, I think it looks quite nice. Now again, we still have to do some stuff with the ceiling, but that's not really very high on the priority list. And for the storage, well, we haven't done anything yet. We haven't even done anything with the water stream. We still need to figure out how we're going to reroute that to the new system. And we still have to figure out what the new system is going to be. Now, I know there's going to be a bunch of individual item sorters around here, but I still have to figure out how I'm going to lay that out, how I'm going to deal with overflow, like that melon and pumpkin farm, for instance. There'd be so much overflow from that. So I think that is where we're going to leave things for now. I'm kind of looking forward to being able to fly right into our portal cave, or rather right out of it. And, well, we still actually have to add the detailing to make it look like it fits in with the area. So I'm going to spend some time probably working that out. But for now, I think that is going to be it for today. So I want to thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.